Okay, so this is the part 2. In this video we'll be covering, let's just cover types of structure. So that you can know what you'll be looking for when you are in the market. Types of structure. So everything about alchemist, this is what you need. This is what you need. This is a type of structure. We call this a structurer. But let's not talk about that now. This is a support. It is a resistant structure. If you wanted to enter a resistant cell, these are the types of structure you will see. Let's enter this start this night. These are what you need on a resistance structure. Do you understand? These are the type of things you need to sell resistance. And if you want to sell a support, you have something like this also. Understand? You have something like this. This will be your support. You know, I told you support is like a V shape and resistance is like an A shape, and you have this as your liquidity. You can see. So this is how to say a support. This is how to buy a support, I mean. And thirdly, if you are going to sell an SBR, which is support became resistance, this is the type of structure you are looking for. This is what you are looking for. You can see why this is a support. Normally you can see it's a support. The market is supposed to buy from here, but there's no liquidity to buy from there. There's no liquidity to buy from there. There's no pullback for us to buy from there. So market's breaking it down here become what? The support that was broken become what? A resistance. And then you having this pullback that did not touch the SBR, then you know you have a liquidity close to it that you can take a sell from. And what do you do next? You position your sell at the closing range of the candle. You know what I mean. Let me not use any this thing. So vice versa with the what's it called? RBS, which is resistance became support, and you have this. This is our last resistance. You know, I told you that a resistance is like an A and a support is like a V. Understand? This is our resistance, our last resistance before we have the support and it got broken. So now the resistance has become what? Has become a support. Why? There's a liquidity here. Understand? And you do what? You take your entry right here. You understand? This is how to take RBS. Let me not go far from that. So I will draw almost all this thing on ground, or you can be screenshotting it like that and keep it on your phone. You understand? Then we have this. You know the last one, I said this is our resistance. And this is what? Our support. And this is the last support from this thing that was swept before breaking before breaking this resistance. So this is our first support, and this is our last support. And always put this at the back of your mind. Always take the POI that is closest to your liquidity. Always take the POI that is closest to your liquidity. If the market is like this, we know we will take from where? We'll take from the RBS. The resistance became support. You can see. You know, we'll take from the RBS. The resistance became support. You can see like that. But the market has already mitigated the RBS, which means it's not tradable anymore. We look for what? We look for the next support. This support is already triggered already, but this is still fresh. So you take what? You mark here as your liquidity, and you take your entry from where? From the next support, the closest support to the liquidity. And this is what we call Quasimodo, QMR. This as a QMR. The last support that was swept, or the last resistance that was swept before changing character, is called Quasimodo, short form QMR. QMR or QM, anyone you want to call it. I hope you're following me. So vice versa, if you are selling also, you have this. You can see this is a resistance. This is the support. This is the support that got broken and it was tested back. So this support now is not tradable anymore. It's mitigated. So where do we target? We target the next resistance. You can see the last resistance that was swept before the market broke here. This is the last resistance. This is the main resistance that we have. It also can be called an order block. So this is the closest resistance, the QM, and why? This is the liquidity right here. You can see, so simple. It's not complicated. Just keep it simple. You don't have to draw lines on your chart before you can get what you are doing. Like for example, this market now. This market I'm taking now. I didn't know why US oil is doing like a cruise person. See, you can see where I took the market from. This is an RBS. Resistance became support. If you go to 2 hours, you will see it very well. Can you see? Can you see that it's the resistance? You can see I bought from resistance. You can see now. It's very simple. I think the same thing is happening on BTC. Let me check. You can see. I bought from where? From I think I saw the trade on 15 minutes, right? Yes, you can see. I bought from where? The RBS that was broken. You can see. That is where I took my entry from. That is where I took my entry from. So this is an example of RBS. Let's continue. Let's go. So that's for QM. So after mastering QM, our next one is the what? Is the I think I already explained that already. I already explained the support and the resistance one, which is this. I'm sorry, which is which is this. This is the last what is it called, support that was swept. This is a market structure shift. We all know about market structure shift. Market structure shift or change of character is when the market is changing direction, maybe from a downtrend to an uptrend, or from an uptrend to a downtrend. So knowing that, we've already mitigate where this support. That means we cannot trade where we cannot trade the support anymore. The support now become what? A liquidity. We now take our entry from where? From the closest support to it, which most of the time is an order block. 90% of the time is always an order block, this support. Do you understand now? Vice versa with a sell also. So let's talk about different types of RBS, because the market will try as much as possible to confuse you, which I do not want you to feel. There are some RBS that will happen like this. Now let me draw from up. You will have something like this. As we can see, we are on a selling position. And you start seeing this, and you see this, and you see something like this. In this scenario, what if you see this kind of market now? What do? You mark here immediately as your what? As your liquidity sweep. The last support that was swept, you mark here as your what? As your strong low. Why? Because there is already a pullback. One. Secondly, firstly, there's a change of character here. The first breaking. This is the market structure shift. This is a break of structure. This also is a break of structure. You can see the market came directly to this place and continue. If you want to mark this market now, you will mark this pullback as your liquidity. You know it already mitigate here. You mark it as your liquidity. Where's your next target? The closest RBS to it. Where is the closest RBS? This is the closest RBS to it. And you take your entry from there. Like this. You can see it might now come and reverse from this side. Then you come and take this again. The closest to the RBS. You will now use where? You will now use here as your liquidity and here as your entry. Can you see? In this scenario, we have more than what is it called? 2 RBS or sometimes 3 RBS together, and you will be eating in the same area for like 3 to 4 times in the same position. You understand? If you know what you are looking for in the market, you get the point. So these are the types of RBS you can get. Let me show you another example of RBS. You have something like this. You can see. You mark here as your what? As your liquidity sweep, which is the last low that was swept before the market did what? Change character here. After changing character, there's a pullback here, and there's what? There's a new change of character here. If you look at it very well from lower time frame, and there's also a break of structure here. So right now you are having a 2 entry, which is this RBS and this what? This RBS. You can see why? Because the market has not touched the RBS. So you mark the market as what? As your liquidity, and you mark here as your entry, and you take it snipe. You can see. So the market will give you different style of RBS and different style of SBR. So vice versa with selling and buying. The way I mark it now on the buy, you will also see it on the sell. And thirdly, do not, please, like I said, I think I was on my first video, please do not trade against the trend. Please do not trade what? Against the trend. Bikono, try as much as possible. Don't trade against the trend. Understand? Always watch out for where the market structure shift happen, where there is a break of structure, know where the market is coming from. Understand? So let me also tell you about let me also show you about this. Let me show you about most order block video. Order block, what is simple term of order block? Order block is the last candle before the market changes, the last bullish candle or bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move or bearish impulsive move. Let me explain what I mean by that. Like this, you see, like this, and you see bullish candle like this. You see a little bit of bearish candle like this. You see bullish candle like this. You see bearish candle like this. You see another bullish candle like this. Bearish, bullish. You can see buying is bullish, selling is always bearish. You can see right here is your what? Is your support. Also your what? Also your order block. I tell you that most of the time support or resistance are mostly order block. You understand? So where do you mark as your order block? The last, the closing range of the bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move. The closing range of the bearish candle. Let me type it. The closing range. The closing range of the bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move. Let me show you an example on Richard. Okay. You can see right here there is a liquidity sweep here. What is this? This is the pullback I told you about. You can see right there. This will be your order block. This bearish candle will be your order block. You cannot mark from the bullish. Even though the bullish closed there, your marking should always be the closing of the bearish candle. The closing area of the bearish candle, the closing range of the bearish candle. Right here should be your entry. When you are entering, buying another block. Vice versa, when you are selling. You can see where this market reversed from. Can you see where it reversed from? The closing range of the bullish candle before the bearish impulsive move is what? Is your order block. The closing range of what? Of the bearish candle, of the bullish candle before the bearish impulsive move. See, you can see the move now, right here. Is your what? Is your order block. Can you see it now? Why did the market sell? Because there was liquidity. Sorry, we have not talked about liquidity. We'll talk about liquidity very well, don't worry. I'll talk about liquidity. You can see there's liquidity close to it. And this is your entry. Very simple stuff. And sometimes the market will not give you like this. The market will give you like this. It will try to confuse you. The market will put the other block in the middle. So that you will not be able to spot it. It will be something like this. Sorry. It will be something like this. The heat is too much. It will be something like this. Then we have a market structure shift, and we have this, and we have this. You know, on norm, this is your what? This is your Quasimodo, the QM, the last support that was swept before the market changed direction. This is it. You can see it now, right here. This is what? This is a change of character, or also known as market structure shift. You understand? This is supposed to be your order block, but this is not your order block. Why? Because this is the last bearish candle before this bullish impulsive move. This is the last bearish candle before this bullish impulsive move, not this. This is it. Understand? You know, I told you buying is buying is this thing. What is it called? Bullish. Then selling is bearish. This little thing is a bearish candle. It's the last bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move. If you should now check on higher time frame, you will now see that the market will end right here. The closing range of the bearish candle will surely end right here on an higher time frame, but in a lower time frame it will look like this. You can see, you can pick your entry from here. If you are looking for a ghost entry, I'll tell you what a ghost entry means. You can also, if you are looking for a ghost entry, you can also pick from here. You can see the mark here as your liquidity. You can see how they changed the order block now. And like I said the order block is what? The last bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move, or the last bullish candle before the bearish impulsive move. Do you understand? Those are types of order block. You can also vice versa with the sell. And sometimes order block will be here. Let me show you. You can see. This is our resistance zone. Before this resistance was broken, where is the last low? This is the last low. This is our order block. Why? Because we have a liquidity close to it. Very simple stuff. Can you see now? Now we've talked about OB. The block. We've also talked about breaker block, also known as RBS or SBR. We've talked about that. I'm trying to cover all the structure that I know, so that I will not come back to structure again. So that when I'm making the next video, I will just continue from liquidity straight. You understand? So types of entry. my structure. Also, when this other block I just explained now, most of the time, if you should switch to higher time frame, it's always an OCL. It's always an OCL if you switch to a higher time frame. Let me discuss OCL also before we move forward. OCL means open close level. That's the meaning. Open close level. OCL. Open close level. Can you see? That's the meaning of OCL. That place I marked as the other block for you, that I said that the last low before the changing of character is another block. Let me come and show you an example. Do I think this? Okay. You can see this market, this Euro USD. You can see this is our resistance. If you should change to line, you can see this is our resistance. Can you see? And it is broken already. We have what? We have the liquidity close to it. The liquidity have not touched where? Have not touched our resistance. You can see. And the resistance has what? As an OCL. Open close. This thing is what we call OCL. Where the market open and close at the same time. You can see. Right here is where the market open and close at the same time. Right here. So that's why we call it OCL. But if we should go to a lower time frame, it's another block. You can see. It will be another block. Let me scroll more. It will be a black candle before the. This doesn't even have other block. It's just a normal, what is it called? Normal breaker. This doesn't even have. Let me look for another trade for you so you can see what I'm trying to. So I can see what I'm trying to say. Yeah, something like you can see. You can see if I should change to line now. You can see this is a resistance. This also is a resistance that was broken. This was the last bearish candle before all this bullish impulsive move. This is the last bearish candle before all this bullish impulsive move. You can see the last bearish candle is black. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? So that's where my entry is. The last bearish candle before the bullish impulsive move. If I should go to that time frame, can you see that place is now an OCL? You can see that place now an what? An OCL. Here is also what? An OCL. So if you are not able to see it on lower time frame, you see it on higher time frame. As long as you are able to identify it or identify the structure, know where the market broke structure from, know where the market changed character from, know where the market is coming from, where the market is going. You understand? Right here now doesn't have OCL. If this place has OCL, the market would have used the OCL instead of this. But here too, let me go to lower time frame. That place might be a normal order block. Can you see? Very simple. Can you see? You could not spot it. The last bullish candle here, the last bullish candle before the bearish impulsive move is a what? Is an order block. This is your order block. That's where the market reversed from. As simple as that. Instead of waiting here, this is the last bullish candle before the bearish happened. So this is your order block. Also correlate with what? With a QMR, giving you more confirmation. When you started correlating your QMR with your order block and things like that, you know that now you are understanding the market. So most of the time, that's how it happens. So do you understand OCL now? Where markets close and open at the same place at the same time. Understand? The same position, market open and close. They can see Even on 4 hours, it's still an OCL. Give me more stronger confirmation. These two on 4 hours, it's telling me that the market where my entry is valid. Why? This week, this 1 week has already touched all this area. So all this area now are invalid to me. This is a fresh POI that is not mitigated. That is why my entry is where my entry is there. I cannot put my entry here because it's not a fresh POI. It already mitigated, but this is a fresh POI. This also is a fresh POI. Market has not come into here. Can you see how I get my entries now? That is all about. Hope I'm not forgetting anything. It will be painful if I forget anything. Well, I think that's all for now. Anyone that I forget, we'll be adding it to the stuff, maybe from the continuation of the video, or you ask question and I will answer it. You understand?